Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to the Spiritual Awakening podcast with Shaz. Today I'm joined by the beautiful Daniel John Hanneman. He has an extensive background as an intuitive business coach. He is an energy scanning healing system creator, professional counselor, certified hypnotherapist, and combined business and professional backgrounds in spiritual life coaching, channeling, metaphysics, religious science, hypnosis, psychology, and motivational techniques, as well as some personal development systems. From a best-selling book series, Daniel has co-authored the book Wake Up and Live the Life You Love, Living in Abundance. It features internationally renowned legends including Tony Robbins, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and Dr. Michael Beckwith. He is the creator and host of the Spiritual Rockstar podcast, a top 2% show in the world. Daniel empowers visionary healers and spiritual entrepreneurs to unlock their psychic energy healing abilities and personal power to boost their confidence, joy, and expanding their vision to reach their highest potential. Thank you for joining me today, Daniel.
Great to be here, Shaz. Wonderful to be with you.
Sorry about this. I'm not feeling the best today, and I'm having an echo in my head, and quite funny. I remember when I met you on your podcast, and I can hear you talking in that voice, and I love it. And the way energy works is quite fascinating to me. And as I'm reading your bio, I can hear the channel and the metaphysical aspects of it. I've not quite had that with a guest before, so thank you for incorporating that energy with me today. And I'd love to take a deep dive into a little bit more about you. So all of that sounds wonderful. How did you get into this business?
Wow. Yeah, that feels like a big question because I started into this type of stuff in 2006 online. So prior to that, I had been into being a psychotherapist and working with people like that. And then I had a private practice doing that and also did hypnosis, hypnotherapy, but that's where that comes in. And then when I did that, I don't know why I feel like saying this, but I used to ask other healers, or really therapists at the time, and also other hypnotists. I'd be like, why don't you just send me your hard cases? You know, the ones like you can't get any better. And I just was focused on that, I think, too, because I had been working with the chronically mentally ill. And I think maybe it comes from my family. My sister has had issues like that. And it's just like I think a lot of my heart is in it, in this life at least, in part because of that idea, like we gotta help them, right, kind of thing, and give me whatever, I can handle the challenge. You bring it to me, and so that's kind of the mindset I had, and then I've taken that further, throughout all these years, and when I got on in 2006, I started off ultimately when I had a functioning website. It was Blockbuster Your Path, what it was called. And I called myself the Blockbuster. I'm still known as the Blockbuster, like on X or whatever and stuff like that. And I don't use it a lot anymore, but it was the idea that we're infinite power. And I know I'm tapped into that metaphysically and channeling wise. And whatever it is, we're just gonna just take care of that, And so that's kind of how I got started, is helping people that just I would scan their energy, that was a whole nother story I could get into, but I just started realizing I could tap into people. It didn't start for me like from childhood and all that, like with you in terms of like as actively as you. I had some experiences, but um, seeing like perceiving like the devil or something was following me, on the way back from church because I could, again, I mean, I feel like, like as kids were told it's not real, right? But like there were like literal like paw prints on the snow following me. It was I still almost like put chills down my spine. Like it was like wow, what's going on? Like, so that this whole idea of like there's these energies that want to flow through me for the light, and then there's this density. I've had some very dramatic experiences with in my, there's always more dramatic, but I was saying like I've had some dramatic experience with that because I was depressed and anxious in high school. So I was always just trying to figure myself out in part two because I had my own challenges. I also was called bipolar in high school because I said I could make things move, I could blow things up, and they're like, "Oh, very interesting," literally like those type of phrases. And I'm like, I then you learn really fast. You don't talk about that stuff, right? So,
Yeah, I know.
then it gets closeted, right? All that stuff was locked up inside me. Then it just started opening up once I started doing all the meditation, the spiritual work, the metaphysical work or whatever, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I'm just dropping into people's energy fields. I believe, I can just be them if I wanted to, like all kinds of wild things, right? And then I just had to learn to ground myself from there. So really it was like I want to know truth, I want to love people, I want to connect, I want to know life better, right? I want to know us better, I want to expand. That's kind of how it started, everything online. And i had the I had helped start healing. I found like healers just kept coming to me, it was just healer types primarily. And then they'd be like, well, do you take on mentees and things like that? And then I'm like, okay, well, they keep showing up. Sure, I'll help. I want to help them. And because I had finally broke, it took me a long time, it felt like, but to break through my business, I started, making almost six figures. And then I started helping other healers to do it. And then with this scan, it's tuning into people, the energy scanning, and doing healing. Mostly they brought that to the party. Usually they had that party already, but I taught them channel prayer, things like that. And then, building things out from there. So I did a lot of certificates, a lot of certification. And then uh, business built up, did multi six figures, and had that for a number of years. 2017 is just like, okay, time to be done with that for now. And then I've been doing high level one to one and the podcast and all this stuff. Intermediate years is sort of like I don't know. No, I mean I'm being dramatic. I'm gonna be funny about this. This is sort of my lost years, like Jesus. Like what happened to him all those years, like compared to what I was doing before. And then it's like now I'm just like on fire to help as many people as possible, healers, empaths, energy sensitives, to open up their energy and get the energy really flowing and expanding in a big way, and then using their gifts, which to me, that's one of the main ways I expand my energy, right? Is by using my spiritual gifts again and again every day. So that's why I'm always like, just yes, I want to give, I want to share. Like I know, like all the rest falls into place from there, right? Oh, okay, you want to hire me, great, and that starts happening automatically. By the way, guys, if you're looking to thrive, when you start really from a place of wanting to serve and build your business, of course, as well. You have to have the intention strong enough. But like you start giving, all of a sudden people are like, where do I sign up? Because they just really get into the flow of your field and how you're showing up, and they just want to work with you. And that's the beautiful thing I want to share to the healers, empaths, and energy sensitives is you can thrive, in your own way without having to do all the usual things like I like doing dramatic, weird things on social media every once in a while, like whatever, doing all the the dance or whatever. I've done some of that, but they don't usually go viral ever at all,
Yeah.
But like, it's fun, but like it's not necessarily the thing people are looking for from us the most, right? Even if you have the personality to pull that off, mostly what people are looking for is the connection, right?
Mm.
Wow, you're so connected. They could feel like you were saying, like you could
Yeah,
feel the
you
energy.
can
And then
feel it.
that's what people are drawn to. Like us just showing up, we think we have to be these caricatures. And most people, that's how they show up online. And it's like, no, we just need to show up fully as who we are. And that's extremely compelling. I mean, that's what people are looking for the most. So, anyway, so that's what got me into it, is really just helping myself and other people just to be who we really are as the healers, empaths, energy sensitives we are, and to lead, humanity into the next evolution, to really live heaven on earth, as I like to say.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to help people fully open up, connect to themselves, and create that heaven on earth. That's what we're here to do. And
Hmm.
love all of that for you. And the energy does, it speaks for itself. I can feel it. It's amazing. And I have so much chatter going on in my head right now. It's quite ironic. But in it, you would have a lot of, in order to scan and things like that, you'd have a lot of connection with your spirit guides and stuff like that. When you go back to the sort of beginning, you mentioned that you had some stuff in school and things like that. How did you sit down and actually learn to connect? Did you go to classes? Were you have your own mentor, or was it something that spirit brought to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a combination of stuff. I mean, I just got asked that on another show today. Well, did someone teach you this sort of stuff and all that? I never really answered the question completely, but like the truth is like yes and no. I mean, I didn't have until like the late 90s, I wasn't even focused on, quote unquote spirituality. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't all I knew is I knew I had a connection with God. I knew there was I had some sort of thing going on. I didn't know what it was, didn't know what to call it, right? Although I did, I had a way to talk about it when I was younger. I said, people are gonna laugh. I would say, I don't know. I have this power. I have this power. Like I have these abilities, and that's how I speak. And of course, other people would laugh at me. Oh, yeah, you got power, whatever. What does that mean? And then of course, as a young man, like I was like, well, let me show you. Pick them up, throw them up on soap banks or whatever. Like, oh, you do. Yeah, there is something different with you. Like, or I'm at the gym lifting weights and like just I would lift more than what people would expect, right? Like,
Yeah.
whoa, I wouldn't expect you to be able to lift that much because I don't look that strong, right? So it's just like I would call it this power I have, and so that was just something that was natural to me. Like I had this ability to connect, and then to try like a transcendent kind of ability to connect, and so that's the ultimate superpower, really. I mean, and then, but I didn't know what I was doing, right? So I learned how to use that a lot on my own, but when I got into science of mind is when they taught about like affirmative prayer. And so affirmative prayer was sort of a guide, and then meditation, I didn't just learn meditation on my own, really. I mean, I had other people tell you what to do, right? But so a note that way, I would say I did get teaching from other people when it comes to the tuning in and using my spiritual gifts. But other than that, everything else is self-taught. I mean, no one taught me to energy scan. Like that's my own downloaded
Yeah.
method. No one taught me channeling. No one taught me,
Mm.
like all these different things. And like I always tell people, you can, and think it's totally valid. Like people have courses and year-long containers to learn, like these different things. I'm like, that's great. I think that's wonderful. I mean, for the people it calls to. But if you want a really direct, quick way to just like get on with it, like I'm your guy. Like I can break it down in 10, 15 minutes, some things that some other people are going to take whole courses to really develop. And so like I'll just be like, you can do it here. Just do this, do that. Just trust it. Basically, is all I say. Like trust it, right? And then I do give other things, right, to help them to make sure they're connecting in a good way and all that. But in essence, it's like you can learn it right away because it's natural to us, right? We only need a few guidelines to get started. Of course, there's always more. There's always more to learn. There's always more to develop. But yeah, I'm basically self-taught. I mean, a lot. Maybe I took it on by osmosis a little bit from other people watching them do it, because I always be the type of person, and my family too. Even with like America's Got Talent, whatever it is, and somebody does something, like half the time I'll be like, I can do that. Like I'm just I'm just that kind of crazy person. I just believe I could do everything. Now, whether I could or not, who knows, right? But like I always have that belief, like I can do that, like so I mean that has embarrassed me at times, but it also is surprised people too, right? It's kind of goes both ways, something like that.
Belief is an amazing thing, and that's what a lot of abilities come down to, is how much you believe you're
Mhm.
connected, how much you can persist and work with the energy. It's about your own effort and action taking. A lot of what I learned, I did go to some classes, but it's the way they just started to communicate with me and its mastery of that. Everyone has a unique way of communicating with the spirit world, and it's up to you to work out how best to make it work for you. And
Hmm.
sometimes copying other people's methods works, and many times it doesn't. And
Hmm.
the best healers that I've ever met all tell me that they have their own channeled guidance, their own set of guides that come and work through them in a unique way. And I'm so grateful for that because I love people that download healing modalities. That is how we have multitudes of versions of Reiki out there and energy healing and like
Hmm.
emotion code and kinesiology. All of those things were downloaded to people at some stage through channeled sittings. Some of the greatest books out there were channeled as well. And you mentioned that you're a channeler. Do
Hmm.
you sit and channel beings, have them speak through you, communicate with you, write with you, or just use them to channel energy?
Mm. Yeah, I have them speak through me. So I'll just tune into the frequency of whatever. I feel the energy and I just let it speak through me. It's really, I mean, it's not that sexy to talk about. Like, it's just kind of like is what it is. I just tune in and I let it happen. And that's how I teach it too. Okay, you sense them? Okay, let the energy talk now. Like there you go. There's your course. Like that's the beginning at least, right? And again, there's always can be more learning and all that sort of stuff. And you could argue, well, that could go wrong because of this or that or whatever. But honestly, not so much. Not that so much. A lot of times, like 80, 90% of it is really just that. I mean, the rest of it, yeah, you want to protect you want to call in only the light and all that. Yeah, that's all valid. I mean, it's you want to, mention those things for sure. And but at the same time, it can be just so direct and so easy. And yeah, I mean, I always say when I'm doing the scan, I often just catch myself saying, maybe because I see other people say it this way, but say, oh, they're telling me. But I'm
Mm.
not necessarily hearing any specific beings telling me anything. I'm just scanning, it's just coming through me. But I
Yeah.
always feel like somebody's telling me something. So I just, that's just kind of like what I end up saying. Like, yeah, they're telling me.
Thank you.
And then sometimes I say, who's telling you what? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm just hearing it, like, I don't always bother to ask where it's coming from, but I trust it because it always is accurate. It always is affirming for people and helpful or whatever. It's not like some. Can you trust that energy? I mean, like, I know the difference with that. So,
That's the big thing is the trust factor. Like there are so many people out there that sit there and go, "Oh, but what if you're channeling dark entities or energies or this, that, or
yeah,
the other?" If you set up your sovereignty and your
yeah.
guides and you work within yourself and you trust your soul and higher self, it won't allow them. They will come through when you choose to accept them. And sometimes it feels like great power, and lots of people want that. But beautiful divine being is the feeling's different. Like the
Mhm.
lightness, the tingles that you get, the beauty of it is phenomenal to me. I love different channeling experiences. I personally don't channel single beings either. I just channel whoever seems to come through. But I love
Mhm.
like Bashar, the guy that channels
Mhm.
Bashar. How
Yeah.
amazing to have one being speak through you. Same with
Mhm.
Esther Hicks and Abraham. I could listen to her channelings all day long, the wisdom that comes through it. But you can get that same wisdom from anyone. I've been going to spiritual church and in that community for over 20 years. And I've seen some great mediums channel beings like White Eagle, and there's a couple of others that aren't on the top of my tip of my tongue at the moment. But
Mhm.
to see the different beings and to have them come through. I have another friend and he's got a specific guide. I think his name's Red Hawk that comes through. And you see
Mhm.
them. And one of my favorite people that channel, when she sits in channel, her voice changes so dramatically, it's not her. And you can
Mhm.
see that in both ways. The same with Bashar. He speaks very differently when he's in channel compared
Yeah.
to when you're talking to him.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the experiences of it, like people get fearful of the channel energy. How do you explain what it feels like in the body?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just like when I channel Jesus, which is the one I channel the most, daily, I channel Jesus. I just, it's really just, it's hard to explain, but it's a feeling of like I'm totally like get entering into total liberation. Like I feel it in my heart. I feel this lightness is, so quote unquote his presence. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say that, but like I mean, his presence just comes through me, and it's just like, yeah. I mean, it's a feeling. Mostly with him within the heart space. That's just because that's where most of the guides really point back to all the time is the heart. So that's what I feel. I don't usually get a lot of bodily stuff like some channels do. It's just more of the vibration I'm feeling.
Hmm.
And then when I get into that channel and I'm channeling the energy for a lot of people anyway, I find myself when I listen back to myself, right? You're just like you just want to kind of be glued to the energy, right? You're just like, yes, yes. I don't even know.
It's like,
Like you, not even you're feeling because you feel the vibration, right? It's more the vibration you're responding to than
absolutely.
all the words. You
Mhm.
are a phone book, but it sounds
Yeah.
so beautiful the way you just said it, right? Like whatever it is. Like, yes, not that people get the wrong idea about it, but it's not. I mean, we're not literally saying that. I'm just saying it could be really mundane type of stuff, if I was just saying a conversation. But like when it comes through the guidance, like the energy, it's just real. You feel it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because it's the same as when you hear certain people sing. They could sing the phone book. You wouldn't care what they were singing. It's just
Right, right, right,
flowing
right.
out of their mouth. Like seriously, it's just phenomenal. And the channeling aspect is like that, the energy. The words have meaning and everything like that, but it's the vibrational frequency that is
Mhm.
expanded or expunged through you from them that make all the difference. I just want to regress a little bit. And you mentioned that in your childhood, you were like me. People did not get what we had access to. I was told to shut up and be quiet and not talk about all of these things. In today's society, I love the free will of the internet. Like yesterday, I was watching a channel of a little, just a YouTube or something of a little girl saying that she's a blue avian spirit, and there's this other young kid that comes along and he tells you what spirit is all about, what's going on in heaven. And children today are much more open than ever, and they have access to share that with the world, and society is much more receiving of it today than it
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
when we were younger. In your practice and everything like that, how different do you think the world would be if you were available to have that access from that childhood energy today?
Hmm. Well, those are questions I don't usually ponder too deeply. I do ponder them, but I don't go too deep because I realize what does almost does America. So wasn't what happened, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what? But it was awesome what happened for me because that's what happened. So that's perfect, right? It's for me. But I think what's possible for all of us if we are able to awaken to those things earlier is we're gonna have like well, I look at my kids. My kids actually have not like they've taken to it, but like they're not like actively looking to develop all their spiritual gifts or something. They're just not at that phase in our life. They're not concerned with that.
Yep.
But, they have developed like intuition. Like I got one that's about to head off to Vanderbilt, and she said since a kid, I'm going to be living in Tennessee and all, like just like certain, not stuff all the time, but it's like things like that happen when my kids or my other one will say things like out of the blue. We're going on a trip. She'll say, Dad, did you bring your razor? Like out of the blue. Like I'll be like, wait a minute, I did forget my razor. So they have the intuitiveness and then the ability. They have their own, energy channels and connections and stuff. So my two biological kids, the one uh, can be a real magnet to certain opportunities. She gets cleared. She's like, I want that. That's mine. Like it's just, and you just know it's going to happen because she just draws naturally everything to her that she's intending. And so it's really cool to watch. The other one loves to work. So she's like the scientist type, and we're going to get into it and really work this out. And so she's a little different in that regard. But yeah, I mean, just the ability to be so loving and compassionate and just she just oozes like a Buddha almost type of energy or something like that. Like just people just feel drawn in by her energy field. So I feel like that is developed a bit more because of the way, being in this family with me and my wife. Um, but so what I would say is possible is a lot, and I mean, again, I know it's my kids. I get it, guys. But trust me, they are considered, among other parents and teachers and everything, like the most model, like, humans are kind of, sort of, like I don't want to go too crazy, but like they are. I mean,
Beautiful.
whatever the teachers would say, we just need to be able to duplicate your child. We heard that multiple times. So it's just
I
that kind of
love that.
crazy. So my point is like and then when I have asked, one of them at least, I asked, do you want me to help you to develop your gifts more? She says, well, I don't know. I don't know how that flows into my everyday life, So she didn't see it as practical. So she says, maybe some other time, So probably at some point in her life, we'll probably be doing that because she'll get interested eventually, right? So
Yeah.
I haven't been one like, all right, you must learn, anything. And so, but I think like anything is possible, like for all the possibilities. I mean, I think about like my youngest, for example, like she just like nothing, sometimes nothing bothers her. She just loves everybody so much. Like people could be doing sometimes just the opposite. But I'm just saying there's times when she has so much patience, so much grace for other people. She's just like, Dad, why does that bother you? Like, whatever it is. Like it could be things that would bother almost anybody, but she's like, but why does that bother you? Right? But it didn't bother her. And like that's the kind of world we could be living in where
Mhm.
everyone's treated as like you're loved. I see you for who you are, and we have that ability to not look down on people or like yeah, well, they're like this, like that. That's what I see, and I have to use my kids as an example, but also with the higher spiritual gifts, like the things that wow us, and we have the chance to be able to know our past lives right away. Well, how instructive is that, right? Like, wow, I mean, I used to do that. I was with Jesus. I was okay. Well, then that's informing how you feel like you want to show up in this life, right? So I just can't even, I mean, honestly, I can't even begin to imagine how many things could be different for our world. I mean, it would be a world where um, increasingly there would be less and less we'd be saying like there's these crises and problems in the world. It'd be more of the closer to a utopia, at least, not a fake utopia, but more of that for
Mhm.
sure. I mean, there's no question. It starts because I always feel like when I get people right in their adult years, I'm like, okay, we could do a lot, but man, if I had you before you were 7, like my kids, man, anything's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, my only prayer for all of the kids out there that are like this is that they don't get shut down, that they're encouraged to
Yeah.
stay open, that they share all of this beautiful information, this connectivity, this visionary aspect. One of my favorite thoughts and sayings for the past 20 odd years is that if we taught every 8-year-old to meditate every day, how different the world would be in the next generation. And to see
Mhm.
this evolve in front of me, like, makes my heart sing because of how much I was disconnected and how much I was put down about it and how disturbed I was made to feel by being different.
Mhm.
But to see them
Mhm.
embraced makes my heart sing. And I love that. But I love all aspects. And especially with the internet today, you can see so many different versions of spirituality, how it shows up out there. And there's some great stuff and there's some very, very weird stuff. You do this podcast and you've obviously talked to a lot of different spiritual entrepreneurs and other business people out there. What's the weirdest or wildest thing that you've ever had a guest talk about or share from their story?
Hmm. Wow. These are really good questions. I'm like, because they make me think. Like, I don't know. There's been so much stuff. Who knows? I mean, um, yeah. I mean, I could tell you a story that it's not a positive story in terms of like, wow, that's a great thing. But one of the biggest stories I have of like what people have experienced actually was a more dark story. Is that okay to share, or should we stay away from that one?
No, that's all good because part of this is a lot of people do go through the dark night of the soul and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
how they overcome that darkness.
Mhm. I had a friend, I consider a dear friend, even though I never met him in person. It was just online, but just someone I thought very dearly of. We had a real nice heart connection, really wonderful colleague friendship or whatever. And and I get sad even thinking about it, but he was really fairly well known and in the UK and everything. And he would channel the angels, and he would teach people how to connect with their angels, and he's just doing such wonderful work. He seems so light. Everything seems so great. And then all of a sudden he did. He even though for decades or whatever amount of time it was, I don't know exactly, but it was like a long, long time he was doing this work. He actually opened up to dark energy, like all of a sudden, like he was like, I'm getting this I've discovered there's something even beyond God, and and then this energy, and it's like with all this heavy, dark energy, and it overtook him. He tried to commit suicide multiple times, and I hate to say he succeeded eventually. So it was very sad. But like, is terms of like some of the more dramatic, kind of stories that I've seen unfold, like that wasn't one that was told to me. I lived it, like, because I was there with people when we are trying to figure out how to help them, and we tried to do what we could, but sometimes you can't. There's just like they're on a course, and no matter what you seemingly do, it doesn't always work out, right? So I've seen that with other things. We're great healers, but like, okay, let's try to clear some of the cancer that doesn't at the soul level really want to be here anymore, though, right? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
like it just, it's not always our place to even if we could override it, like it may not be the thing we're supposed to do anyway. I know it sounds weird, but
Yeah, no.
it's kind of the way it is. Yeah.
And it happens quite a bit. I've known a couple of stories similar to it where they
Yeah.
go, you think that everything's fine and they're traveling along great, and then all of a sudden they just turn. And there's a famous one of it, Doreen Virtue, the same thing, all talking about
Mm,
angels, and now all of a
yeah.
sudden she's turned. And she
Mhm.
talks about religious aspects, but you can also see the energy of the way she talks about it. It's very
Right.
fear based. And the
Yes.
fear is
Yes, it
what
is.
overcomes us all, and the fear that gets to us. And that is problematic. And fear shuts us down because fear is the opposite of love, right? It is, everyone thinks hate's the
Yeah.
opposite of love. It's not. Fear is what
I
sends
truly
us
believe I do
away
have.
from the source.
Yeah, I'm so sorry interrupting. But what I was thinking on that is that yeah, I noticed that with her too, and I feel like it hit for a number of people with all this inundation from the social media and stuff. I think what's happening with some of the people in the spiritual circles, no judgment of it, because if it works for them, that's great, and they're doing a lot of good, great things with that. And I think a lot of like people are like very fearful based at their core, very, very fear connected. I have seen a number of those new ager types, whatever you want to call it, what label you want to give them, turn into like these very strong, hardline Christian types then afterwards. So like, no, all that was dark energy. The whole new age is dark. And it's like, are you crazy? Like, why would you say that? And it's all fear. It's just like, I just have this feeling like the only thing that can save me is Jesus or this or that. And like because they're so fearful, in my opinion. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I always say it's possible I'm wrong, just like it. But I always use this too. Shaz, this is what I say. You could use this too in your own way. But I've done thousands of energy scans, and most people tell me I'm right on track. Right?
Yeah.
So when I speak from this place, I'm speaking from the same place. That's what I believe happens. Also
Yeah.
with my background in psychology, I understand on many levels how people tick. And I really think that drives people. Friends of mine have done that, and we respect each other. It's not like they're like see me as a dark demon in person or something now, but it's just like, okay, I respect you are where you are, but this is where I am, and it's okay. It's just, but I see that does happen. I think like fear does really wild things to how we perceive life for sure.
It sure does. And energetically, you can sense and feel it. Like it's a totally different vibration. There's so much strange about it. Like I'm in this world, I get lots of comments every now and then, depending on what groups that I'm in on Facebook, of, uh, just go back to God and go do this. I am not disconnected from God. I talk to him every
Right.
single day. Jesus
Right.
channels through us through healing. He is
Right.
an amazing, beautiful being, and you don't have to be Christian or religious to
Hmm.
communicate with them. They talk to everybody. God exists in our heart space. To me, God source energy is within every single human being. It is a direct activated line that we have to Him, and everybody has access to it. And religious doctrination is not great. Like we were talking yesterday about different aspects of the Bible. You go there, and if you go to Bible study, you'll have 18 different people give you different perceptions of the same line. There's no congruency with it. That's the thing that I
Right.
love about spirituality is free will gives you the option to have your own opinions, and that's okay. All we
Hmm.
want is personal responsibility, that you take responsibility for your actions, and everything that you're creating is via yourself, okay? All of your life, how bad it is, how great it is, how manageable it is based on how you think, what you feel, and what you show up as, and the lessons that your soul decides to learn. And too many people
Hmm.
don't get that. And in the religious perspective, from my own opinion, and it's the way that I perceive the world, and that's okay whether you agree with me or not, is they're telling you that other people or other beings or other things are responsible for your actions. Well, that's not true. And you
Hmm.
can do bad actions so long as you go and seek forgiveness, but that actually doesn't stop you from doing the bad behavior. The idea is to change
Hmm.
the behavior. And that's the
Hmm.
factor that I can see when people go from light to dark and they filter back and forth. That for
Hmm.
me is the unhealed person. They don't face their own responsibility for themselves. And
Hmm.
that saddens my heart.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 that's true. I mean, it's taken quite a while in this lifetime anyway for me to even be at the level I'm at now. I mean, right? I mean, I
Me
had to
too.
deal with I had a suppressed ego as a kid, really. I mean, the confidence was always locked up in there. I always had super confidence somewhere inside me, right? I always was
Mm.
there, but like I was quiet about it. Like, and then as I started, then okay, I got to show up. I'm finally gonna get visible. Then I had to start talking some smack, right? So
Yeah.
watch me do this, watch me manifest that. And you start doing those things, but then you're like, what am I doing? Like, so what? I can manifest anything. Like, there's a phase like that, right? Okay, whatever. I can manifest billions if I wanted to, whatever. Like, I know it sounds weird maybe to some people's ears. Well, why don't you if you could? Well, because that's not my deal, Like, it doesn't bring me what you think it would bring me. Like, I know already know it won't bring me what you think it might bring me, right? Like some people anyway. I already know like there's no wisdom in that, right? So you start realizing like, okay, so then it's about discernment, like of and listening and like really tuning in where your instrument is meant to be played, how it's meant to be played, what wants to manifest through you, and that's where it's really fascinating to me. That's where I find bliss is in that. Like, and yeah, there's an expansion, there's an amplification, there's a whatever, all these things are going on. But it's in your own unique way, right? Your own unique thing, and it's we're not all meant to, try to emulate the whatever, the 1,000 billionaires or whatever, how many there are these days. But you know, they're the most successful. They have the most money. Therefore, we should all be like these people.
But what are they doing with it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's my question. Yeah, I'm the same with manifestation. We manifest what we desire, and some people
Hmm.
have big, great desires, but money is only purposeful. It's a tool for me. It's an energy.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you doing with that energy? There's no use stockpiling it. One of the beliefs I had to get rid of my own money story was money burn a hole through my pocket because I had the belief you can't take it with you. So why have it in the bank? You can't take it with you when you die. It doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
if you're not going to use money, what is the point of it? And it's an exchange energy, and it's a beautiful thing to have access to great things. And
Yeah.
yeah, the same with spirituality and gifts, right? What is the point if you're not actually using them to help other people? It doesn't have to be a huge thing where you go out and be at service like Jesus, wandering the world and doing everything like that. But little things, the kindness aspect of
Yeah.
helping someone in
Yes.
need, listening to people when they desire conversation, taking notice, being present. That's the big thing for spiritual aspect for me. Seeing a wrongdoing and trying to make sure that it's altered or changed and stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's spiritual gurus supposedly that, they do all these big works to make all this money, and they're total jerks to people that are closest in life. Is that success? You tell me. I mean,
Exactly.
you want to bring all of it, right? I feel someone like, I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but like a Dr. Wayne Dyer seemed like a
Yeah.
pretty good guy overall. I mean, we all make mistakes, right? But I'm saying like he seemed like pretty genuine, real guy overall. And again, we could always bring out your stories like, but he did this, he did that. I get it. Okay, but
Mm.
I'm saying he's pretty good, right? So there are congruent teachers and people that are really successful that make a big impact. I look at someone like Louise Hay overall.
Yeah.
Again, I could always find problems with everybody, right? Oh,
Mm.
she had one of these. I heard she drank too much at that party or whatever. Like, she really did. I have heard those stories of people that know her. But anyway, I mean, but there's Eckhart. I mean, I don't know if he ever took a drink in his life the way he comes across it, right? But I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like these people are making a big impact. There's a lot of money circulating through them. That's why I do Spiritual Rockstar in part. There are examples of people that are really connected and doing great work in the world. They're authentic, real people. They're relatively really happy and expanded and doing great. And that's what we want to see more of. That's all. I mean, rather than, some people, have the fake success. Sometimes they even tell you they're successful and they're not, like
Oh, there's plenty of
they're
that
not
out there.
even nearly where they say they are, right? And so we've got all those counter examples, but you pick those out pretty easily. The more you get more connected and awakened, you can kind of see it right away. Then, it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound right, right? So you start seeing that more and more, and
Yeah.
then you're not sucked into it either, right? Like, oh my God, I want to be like them. They're so seductive and they're so
Mm.
successful. And like, yeah, they're just successful at getting a certain amount of people to want to give them money, more so, than like purely like as these great vessels. But everybody's got their place, right? I don't judge any of it ultimately, but I think like to me, I want to stand for the people that want to be who they really are and to shine and express that at the highest level that they're willing to. I'm always here to encourage that.
Yeah, and that's a big factor for me. Like, what is the image that you're putting out to the world? What is the energy that you share with others? I I despise some of the people in the spiritual world around me sometimes because they're sort of so nice to your face and you walk away and they're backstabbing everyone and they're putting people down and I
Yeah.
do my best not to judge other people, and if I don't have anything nice to say, I will shut my mouth and not say it at all. I have to vent occasionally to get my own personal things off my chest, and sometimes I'll do that with a valid and valued friend or mentor or whoever I choose
Hmm.
to share that with, not to share it with the world. Like, you don't
Yeah.
go around backstabbing people and putting all the nastiness out there and then turn around and go, oh, love and light. Like, the
Right.
that's our
There's
guys
a
who
lot
live
of
on
people that do
Facebook
that. Yeah, I've seen
because
a
they
lot
do,
of people doing that.
and they walk out, and it's like, where's the congruency and authenticity? Okay, I wish best wishes to everybody, and I pray for goodness for all. And when I see someone
Yeah.
hurting, I can't help but want to go and assist them to make them feel better in whatever way I can. And that for me is what I would consider a spiritual rock star. When you say the
Yeah.
term, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, someone again who's connected with source. I didn't really say it this way yet, but yeah, I mean, someone who's connected with source, a deeper level, and is making a bigger impact in the world. They're really trusting it. They're really standing the energy and the commitment to bringing their best, into the world to serve. And it's fine to make lots of money if that's part of the jam effect. I encourage, that. I mean, I feel like the more we're willing to do that in a way that aligns for us, like, then it's perfect, right? If you don't feel aligned until you're charging 50 grand for the program, then let's do it. That's your kind of jam then, right? But if no, you're not aligned unless you're charging like 3 grand or whatever, that's okay too. Like, I mean, it's all about finding where you're aligned and where your expansion ultimately is. Maybe you're going to sell like, you know, 5 million courses at like, 300 bucks. I mean, maybe that's your growth, right? I don't know. Everybody's different. See, my mind is a little bit or a lot more open, I think, as a business coach than some other people because I realize, you know, it can look all different ways. And I think we've gotten so, including my own mind at times, has gotten so pigeonholed through all the business trainings we've taken in as coaches and healers and stuff. This is the model. This is the inverted pyramid. No, this pyramid, like the funnel this way, the funnel that way, and no, we need to do it this way. And, you got power buyers, and you got your niche. You got this. Have your niche, get rich, and like there's just so many things. And but when you look at people who are really successful, yeah, sometimes they build their business like that, but there's so many other counterexamples to everything. This one built it on joy. Like that's all they focused on. I think it was the potpourri people said that.
Mhm.
All we focused on was joy, and our business blew up, right? That was their guiding light for their business. Like it was a clear signal, right? To me, that's a spiritual rock star type,
Yeah, I
because you
love that.
just trusted the energy, that higher frequency energy. That would be an example. I mean, great product, I guess, right? I don't know, but done great things, and then you got other people. No, we grind it out every day. This is what we do, and okay, maybe that fits. Maybe that fits for you. I don't know. Probably not, but like I'm very suspicious, but maybe I know there's people that enjoy that,
Yeah.
life's so hard and I love that. Yeah. So the people that preach hard life, it's because they're passionate about life being hard. It's such a hard life. It's so exciting. Like I get to work 100 hours a week. It's so exciting. But then there's so many people that do that. They follow that like a formula. Then they burn out. They're sick. Their adrenals burn out, all this stuff. And they're like, oh my God, heal me. And it's because you're not being you. That isn't for you. But it may be for someone else. It's possible. There's X amount of people that is for that sort of a path, right? And other people, it's just totally not their path. So everybody's different.
Hmm. And what would you say it does not mean at all?
Well, someone is like a very linear, straightforward, like what's in it for me only kind of thinker. Like if it makes a lot of money, we do it. That's
Yeah.
all we're focused on. Although I would say a lot of the spiritual people need more of that. Like they need to balance it out a little bit more. Like I will tell some of my clients and students, I'll say, I just told somebody on a call last week, I said, she says, I don't know. I'm struggling with money. What should I do? I said, well, and I had a conversation or two in the past with her over the years. I said, listen, in your case, you need to make it all about the money because you won't anyway. But it's your mindset. It's all about the money, and then you'll start making some. Like, I think like that's the thing. But if that were literally the way you were, right? I'm just after the money.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna keep you on this Zoom until I get 100 grand, Shaz or whatever, whoever it would be. Then no, and that's all you really cared about was getting the money. That's totally not spiritual rock star. So,
Yeah.
uh, people who yeah will lie and tell you all kinds of things, and we got we have so many people that's so successful, but then why is it every single person I've talked to in your program says they're nowhere? I mean,
Mhm.
not making any money or not getting the results or whatever. So I've seen many examples of that. Believe it or not, Shaz, I could still be friends with those people, believe it or not, because that's my heart. I'm just like, I still love you though.
I can
I
still
see what you're
accept them
doing, but
and
I still
stuff
love
like
you.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, the big thing that what it doesn't mean is someone
Mhm.
that tells you, go do this and it's only this way and this
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely works. And then
Hmm.
they don't do it.
Right.
That
Oh, yeah,
does
that's true
my head
too.
in. Like, go
Yeah, that's
do
not.
this. And then
Yeah,
walk
yeah, yeah.
outside and I do the exact opposite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right,
Hypocrisy
right,
kills me. Seriously, it does my whole head in.
right, right, right. Yeah.
One of your amazing gifts is to help healers and spiritual entrepreneurs call in more sales without selling their soul. When you help people do that through your energy scans and the work that you do, what is the thing that you're looking for?
Hmm. When I do I'm sorry, the scanning part.
The scanning helps you identify their sales and stuff
Mhm.
like that, their
Yeah,
blocks and
yeah,
things.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so what I'm looking at is like, well, it's not really a logical approach. I'm really, it's all like I'm just tuning into their energy and seeing who they are, and then I'm like, so what I sense would work for your business then is, blah blah blah, because it's just like putting the puzzle together, kind of, the energy puzzle. I'm like, oh, okay, I could see you, networking with people and like all of a sudden just people want to work with you because of your presence or something like that. Or I can see you becoming maybe more like a Oracle type. Everybody just you come in for a 15-minute consult, you charge them $300 and then they work for it to a high level, right? So someone it could be like that. It could be millions of different, if theoretically millions of different ways. Whatever it is I see in how they're meant to operate. There's some people they they really can't prosper unless they get on other people's stages. Like it's a big key for them. Like every time I get on other people's stages, I make money. Every time I post on social media, nothing ever happens. That I hear that, and they're great speakers. So
Yeah.
how does that make sense? Well, it's an energy thing. It just doesn't work for them to be that. They have to be like introduced by someone else sometimes. And you can see that in someone's energy. Now, some people do human design, right? All these other systems and I don't know, Enneagram or whatever. I don't know. There's just so many out there now. And I have them on my show too. So I am curious about all of it. And so, but the thing is just I just tune in directly to their energy is why I'm not a deep studier of all that stuff. I've done plenty with it, but I don't know a lot of that stuff ultimately. Like when people get really detailed, well, I got a 5 here and a 1 there and a this or that. And this is my son's here and my Pluto's over here. And I'm like, what the heck? That's too complicated for me. I just tune in. Let's see what's there. And that's kind of how I do the scanning. I just tune into your chakras, your energy, your past life, this life, and maybe even your future life, right? I see you're being successful. And we just dial in the energy alignment while we unlock the energy that's locked up. We historically, myself included, would call it blocks, right? You got a block here, and maybe I still do call it blocks here and there, but and I'm starting to call it you got locked up energy. We need to unlock it. It needs to expand. It wants to do good in the world. It doesn't want to be scared like a scared child, right? Like we got to hang on. Oh my God, we're all gonna die if we try to come out and play, right? And then we just let it help it realize, like a child, like it's okay to go out and play. It's all right. You can do that. And oh, I can go great. I think you're right. Let me go play now, right? And then the energy flips, right? So, and then the breakthroughs happen. So, I don't even know what you asked anymore. I'm just
No,
going
it
on and
answers
on.
pretty well, actually. It leads to the next question, too. Is there a common theme or a similar block that you find in healers and spiritual people that all have the same issue?
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. A similar question to one I had today. Like I said, yeah, I mean, a lot of times people say, well, it's the not good enough, it's the unworthiness, or so many other ones. But I really like to talk about, I think the maybe the deepest misunderstanding and wound really is that people believe they're been abandoned by God, or they don't trust that God's for them ultimately, even though they say I'm 404, I'm love and light, I'm all this stuff. But all you have to, I mean, I look at the energy and I can see that's not true, number one. Number two, just watch their mouth, right? Like you said, like, man, that Trump or whoever, the enlightened person, I'm so enlightened. I'm not judgy at all. Donald Trump. Oh,
So
I thought
good.
you were enlightened. What happened? All I said is somebody's name. That's how bad it's been in some rooms. I literally would drop Donald Trump's name just to see, just to
See,
watch
this is going
reactivity. I just
crazy.
wanted to see, throw a bomb in a room and see what happens. Oh my God, people, ah! And I'm of the school of belief that on a spiritual level, okay, just on a spiritual level, don't go nuts on me now. He's a great master spiritual teacher because he's pushing all your buttons, or pushing all those buttons. And he's getting you to react all like crazy. He's a mass ascender of awakening for you. That's what he is, right? And so, like, that's the
Yeah,
opportunity we have with these players. We say the dark energies, the cabal, this and that. Well, they're all there. They're there for a purpose. They're there to help us to expand and grow. And that is literally a soul contract that many of them have. Like, you look right into their energy, you can see it. Like, oh,
yeah,
you're just playing your part. Why am I judging you so much?
Mm.
You're just trying to help everybody in your own way. This is what you've committed to. And it's okay. We're all coming back to the light. We'll all be purified ultimately. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of evidence for that for a lot of people have gone to the other side. They've seen all these things. So,
Yeah.
anyway, um, I think the biggest one is that people don't feel they can trust being themselves because they don't feel like the universe has them covered. They haven't been given the permission to just be their true self, and therefore God must not love me. I've been abandoned. I can't trust life. I can't trust God. Look at this shit I've got to deal with here. So therefore, obviously, we can't trust God. Look at all the crap we got going on in this world. I think it's still a program underneath. When people
Yeah.
say, "Well, if the world if God's so loving, why do we have so much crap going on?" I think like that really influences a lot of what's going on.
Yeah. One of my big things is everyone says that to me. Oh my God, if God would not put cancer in children and make them suffer. I hate to tell you, they chose that. God didn't choose that for
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
They chose
yeah.
that. Their parents chose that. The learning from it, the understanding, the hardship, we chose to learn through it to evolve.
Yeah.
That's what our soul wanted to experience. We wanted to
Hmm.
understand the heartache and the pain, and they don't like it. And you can't spiritual bypass things like that and just go, oh, but I can only have good stuff. The soul does not grow through ease, it
Hmm.
stays
Hmm.
stagnant. And when you're in
Yeah, yeah.
great flow and great ease and everything's going great, you self sabotage yourself until you make crap and chaos. You can't help
Right,
yourself.
right. No matter what you do, you end up in a pile of shit. Well, that's your sabotage
Like,
pattern,
seriously,
and
go
that's your
and,
story. It's a
like,
loop you get caught up in. Yeah,
I can give you 100 examples of where I see it all the time, right?
yeah,
Steve
yeah,
Jobs, okay? Overcome
yeah.
so much, created Apple, got to the, like, cream of the
Right,
top, got everywhere he went, manifested disease that actually killed him
right,
because he wasn't
right,
focused on
right,
living life. These things
right.
happen all over. There's stars out there, they get everything great and then they manifest hardship. We don't grow
Yeah,
through ease. And you have to manage both. You can't have, like, there is no one out there living in pure peace, harmony, and utopia in this world. I hate to tell you, there's no one.
yeah,
They
yeah. I
all
agree.
have
That's where we
things that they
really
have to
agree.
navigate.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoever tells you they do, there's lying. Again, they're lying. Again, you can have periods of time like I've had, maybe you've had too. I don't know. I don't remember all what you've told me in the past, Jess, but during our short time together, but like, I mean, yeah, we can go weeks or months and
Yeah,
years even, where, well, no, pretty much it's perfect, all the
yeah,
time. And yeah, maybe, but it doesn't mean you didn't even have your ups and downs there usually. And then eventually, it can all like my friend, right? He
mm,
ended up like he was totally fine. He was happy, everything was
yeah,
expanded. All of a sudden, oh my God, he's suicidal, everything. Like I have another one up in I have another friend, another colleague friend, long time, brilliant guy, just really creative, really powerful, teacher, healer, really wise guy, talented with all kinds of things. And he got a stroke and he's just like
mm,
he's had to get a feeding tube in. He's like going through all this big rehab and I mean, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's so funny. I mean, like, obviously, I'm already seeing a story of potential triumph for this guy. Like, because if,
yeah.
I'm not saying
Oh,
it's
you can
definite,
overcome
but
it. Yeah,
if he overcomes it, he's going to have even a bigger story
bigger
to tell,
story.
right? I was like this. I was so, and so now look at the example I am now, right? And that's the potential I do think we all have in
Yes.
every lifetime. We can be those people. We can be the ones that rose through anything. And if we don't, that's okay. But I'm just saying we have the ability to be an example like that that really makes a big impact. We look, they talk about Jesus, right? Like, I mean, he literally chose to die the way he died, right? I mean,
Yeah.
some people say he lived on, he didn't really die, and all
Yeah.
that. Okay, well, maybe, but I'll go with the original story, right? I mean, he chose that, and others have chosen that, right? They've been chosen to sacrifice their lives in so many different ways, and just no, it's okay, because they understand, like, it's okay ultimately, right? They know it doesn't matter in a sense, like it matters they lived their dharma, their purpose. And if it was part of it is to give their life, that's what they did. So yeah, totally. When you talk about people choosing, in a sense, these different conditions, I know all the things that I've suffered from. Again, I wouldn't want to take them all away because I gained something amazing through all of it.
Yeah.
All of it is showing me something, you know. So all of it is like, and then I have so much more love and compassion for everything because of my own challenges. And I think most people can relate to that, right? At
Yeah.
least I do. I'm just like,
Right.
whatever you're dealing with, no matter how you're showing up, I love you and I don't care. You could call me every name in the book. I still love you. I still believe, like, I still believe in you. So I don't know why. Because I don't know why you're showing up the way you are.
Mm.
I don't know your whole history, right? I don't know what you've been dealing with. So why would I judge you? You know, it's ridiculous. And I think I get a lot of that influence from Jesus. Jesus is like, welcome them in, you know, like with love, right? I mean, everybody's your brother and sister. They're all children of God. They're all meant to be loved and blessed. And so why would I even think about judging them? I mean, and yet I do, because we all have those kind of tricky minds that just want to be
Human.
reactive and trained in that way. Yeah, I'm totally human.
I love that. Now, you've got a special offer for our listeners today as a beautiful energy scan. Can you just give us a bit of insight into that, please?
Yeah, yeah, thanks so much. So yeah, today I'm offering your audience the opportunity to receive energy scanning from me. So I've done thousands of energy scans. I don't know if it's quite 10,000 readings like Shaz here, but I don't know, but I've done a lot. And so what I do is I tune into your chakras, your past lives, and whatever, you know, wounds you've had in this life. And to whatever level I can get to within our session, but like looking at what's going on with that, and then the gifts you have, and the strengths you have, and you know, and so it's really good because I can just instruct you guys like on what wants to shift, what you could maybe be working with in your energy that you're not paying attention to. You may be using unconsciously certain gifts, right? What gifts do you have in your third eye and your connections? Because it's not just, oh, you're intuitive, you know, boom, we're done, right? And all kinds of different intuition, all kinds of spiritual gifts, and looking at that. And then if you have a business, you know, if you want to have a business as a healer, like looking at the energy you have around visibility, money, right? And how could you be successful sharing your gifts with the world and making an impact and growing what's possible in your business? So yeah, so I'm doing that. The value for 30 minutes of that with me is 500. And it's the value. I don't know if I've ever charged anybody that for an energy scan, but it's the value of the process can totally change you.
Hmm.
Um, and so, because I give you, it's like it is a free session. I mean, I do
That's
offer
amazing.
afterwards if people want me to. I always say, if you want me to, and I feel the calling, we can talk about how I can help you more. I mean, yeah, sure. But why would I not? Like, of course, I'm here to help. I mean, but my point is like I'm here to just give and give and give and help as many people because it's my pleasure to do so. So, but for your audience, yeah, I mean, I do charge for these. But yeah, for your audience, I'm going to offer it for free. Just they can zero out the payment of $500 and get it for zero for free. But you do have to put in a credit card information to make the system work. That shows me you trust, by the way. That's kind of why our criteria to see how much trust you have. And when you do that, then you'll get that entirely for free. So there's going to be a link and a code. And I'm not sure what the code is. Maybe Shaz has it. I forgot to ask her what it was. How we gave her.
I'll they'll all go in the show notes. I don't have
Okay,
one
yeah, it'll
handy,
all
but
be there,
all
guys.
the
Yeah.
details of how to book it will be in the show notes
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
today's episode and in the
Yeah.
blog or the podcast listing on my website. Thank you so much, Daniel. Just one last thing. If you want listeners to take away one thing from today's episode, what would it be?
So many things. Trust being you. Start trust being, you know, your most authentic, true nature from your heart, and rock on.
I love that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And I truly appreciate all of your honesty and depth and the work that you do. It's a reminder that spirituality and success does not have to be separate. You can have both with grace and ease. one of the hardest things for me to hear is people out there saying, oh, these are gifts and you can't make money off people for doing them. These are gifts that I invest a lot of money and energy and time into, and they are more than that. They are so much more. And you deserve to be compensated for your energy and effort in the same vein. So thank you very much. And I hope that everyone enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.